right, today we are going to do the keyring with initials project. This will be our second design project, and once again, it should be fairly simple. We've actually done an exercise just or very similar to this when we did our ellipse tool sketching. As I've told you, I'm kind of preparing you for those projects that would be upcoming as we went through the sketching tools. So let's go ahead and get started. You see the screen over here. We've got a PDF with instructions that you can download and follow if you don't want to do the video. The one downside about the PDF, if you'll notice, it's done on an old version of Fusion. So you'll have to read the instructions, but at this point in time, you should know what it's asking for and how to access the tools in the current version of Fusion. It shouldn't be a difficult translation for you. All right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do in our project is we're going to create a sketch. We're going to start on the top bottom plane. There we are. We're going to create a rectangle that is 60 by 30. So 60 and 30. Remember to key in your values. Don't drag it. Hit enter. Say, whoa, no, it's 30 in there. We got 30 in there now. So that you are constraining your design and that any changes to the dimensions are intentional and not done by accidentally dragging the mouse over something you shouldn't. Next thing we're going to do is round off the corners. We're going to add a 6mm fillet, 6mm radius to each one of the corners. So there's the fillet tool. Click on the first corner and change the value to 6mm. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all four corners at once. Have all four corners selected. All right, they have become rounded. Hit enter, escape out of the tool. Constraint warning down there. Yes, there were constraints removed, and that is exactly what we wanted to do. All right, so let's finish sketch. I'm looking over here to remember how far we're going to extrude the shape we just created. So there's extrude. We're going to extrude it 2mm. And now we've given some depth to our object. We're going to create a sketch now. And we're going to do it on the top, on the face that we've created. What we're going to do is zoom in on that a little bit. We're going to create an edge here to extrude, to raise up around the outside of our keyring that we're creating. So we did this on the ellipse project. We've started our sketch on the face of our design. We're going to offset from the outer edge 1.5mm. It'll be a negative 1.5. We're going to take that outer area and we're going to extrude it by 1.5mm. And that's what it'll look like when we're done. Okay, so we've started our sketch. We selected the face of what we're sketching on here. Going to our offset tool. I'm going to select the outer edge. And I'm going to offset by negative 1.5mm. Enter. And there we are. So that is good. We're going to finish sketch. Top view, zoom in a bit. I'm going to extrude this ring by 1.5 millimeters. Go to the home position. So as as we were attempting to do, we raise the edge of that outer ring by 1.5 millimeters. Okay. Now we're going to create a hole for our key ring. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch on this face. Then we're going to draw a circle, a 4 millimeter circle. We're going to come in about 1.5 grid lines in from the left. And then we're going, since we don't know the center point of our circle exactly, we know where we want it to start. We're going to use a 2-point circle instead of a center diameter circle. The 2-point circle allows us to click on the edge, and then we will drag out where the diameter is 4 millimeters. We'll type in the value of 4 and run it along the grid line that we were drawing. So let's get started. Create a sketch, select the face. All right. Now let's create circle and a 2-point circle. Let's come down, and there's our midpoint. Okay. I'm going to come in, start about right here. That's about 1.5 grid lines in. Click, drag over. Let's put in the value of 4. So I've got 4 millimeter circle there positioned off of the left edge. And it's over just a bit. Yeah, that looks good. We're going to finish sketch. All right, now we want to cut the hole for the circle. So I'm going to go Extrude. I'm going to select my circle. And I'm just going to drag the arrow down to cut. Notice how it turns red to cut. We know that our base is 2 millimeters, so 5 millimeters will cut all the way through. My operation is cut. Everything looks good. Click OK. All right. Let's turn it over just a touch. These are pretty sharp. So let's add a fillet. Smooth out these edges. So I'm going to open the fillet tool. Select this edge. Select this edge. Let's make it a 1 millimeter fillet. And click OK. Home position. There we are. Flip it over. You see the fillet on the bottom as well. All right. Okay. So that step is complete. All right. Last step. We are going to add text on the face of our key ring. So let's go ahead and create sketch. Select the face of our key ring. Now, I don't care what text you put on here. All right, click. I'm getting email. All right, so there's our text. Our tool, you cannot type text into a text box directly. You have to type the text into the text palette in the text field. So Maxwell, let's make it bold. Now I'm going to move my palette down where I can see. Obviously, my text is too large. So let's cut it down to 8. Point 5. That looks pretty good. I've made it bold. I've left it at Arial. Center in the middle of our text box. So this is horizontal and vertical. That looks pretty good. You can change fonts. You can add spacing between the characters by increasing the character spacing. Very slight increase there. I think that looks pretty good. Experiment with the text tool. We've gone over it in class, so click OK when you're done. All right, and there is one last step. We're going to finish sketch. And the last step we want to do is we want to raise these letters from the surface. We want to extrude them so that they stand out. So let's go to extrude. I'm going to select. I don't want to select the whole face. I just want to select the letter. So I'm hovering directly over the first letter. Click. I have my letter selected. I'm only going to do 1 millimeter. I'm going to, the operation is going to be a join. So that's good. Click OK. And there you are. Your project is complete. All right. That's all for now. And I guess we'll do this again when the next project is up.